Nutrition.
WEFM, the clean, fresh sound.
Activated Mornings on WEFM 99.9 is on now.
All right, welcome back to Activated Mornings. But before we hop into our discussion, we have to remind the WeFM listeners that Smart Toilet Seat, My Smart Toilet Seat, has a special promo discount for our valued listeners. Listeners of WeFM 99.9 can earn a special discount of $25 with their purchase of non-electric smart toilet seats, only which retail for EC $272.60. My smart toilet seat is located on the third floor of Bayside Plaza at the corner of Bay and Higginson's Street. Kingston, sorry. Listeners must mention promo code WeFM at the time of the purchase to earn the discount. Layaway plans are available and this promotion ends at the end of October. I have to remind you again that the Searchlight Midweek is online, and these are the headlines in this week's Searchlight Midweek. The heat wave is affecting food production in SVG, says Minister. Dead man's home at Layou ransacked by police in wake of early morning shooting. Huge arms shipment seized in Trinidad and Tobago, a big concern to the region. 2023 Pink Cap Walk makes history with largest attendance. Sandy Bay Man goes from Trenchtown to top honors. New marijuana lounge to open this week in Kingston. There is a hair-raising connection between hair dyes, chemical hair straighteners, and cancers, says Physicians Weekly. He refuses to go to the doctor. The psychology of men's health. There are more sports, Prime the Pump, Business Buzz, Physicians Weekly, and Kitchen Corner. Searchlight journalism you can trust. Check them out online at searchlight.vc. So, good morning, Roleza. Here we are again.
Yes, sir.
And we have a very deep question this morning.
What is
The
it?
deep question this morning is to beat or not to beat. That is the question. So I'm pretty sure we're within the majority of intentions that saw the video being circulated, what seems to be of a South Rivers woman. Well, at least on Instagram, the page says straight out of South Rivers. There's a page on Instagram that shows a mother beating her child after he seemed to have been disrespectful towards her.
Well, I wouldn't say so much beaten. We saw her deliver a slap.
She delivered different blows, I think, multiple slaps.
Yeah.
But it wasn't like back to back to back to back. It was like there was some you know, when your parents beat you and they telling you why they beat you, it was more like that.
Oh, they put up beat. No,
not they put up. Like
put up a little different.
Must learn, but there was more distance between it than that. But my question this morning is it effective? Is the physical violence effective, or is non-violent punishments more effective when dealing with your children? Because we know the Caribbean way is, as the Bible says, spare the rod, spoil the child. But is it indeed effective? Because now that we're becoming more in touch with our mental health, no more that we're being more educated in anxiety and all of these things, we're hearing more and more children, I'd say adults as well, of African descent speak about how the punishments affected their mental health. But then there's a line between disciplining your child and abuse. And good morning, Cheryl from Sabre. Good morning to you. Where's Sabre again?
Yeah, they looked this up the other day.
Yeah, pretty sure we did.
You didn't commit it to long-term memory?
No, I did not. But good morning, Gerald. Thanks for the morning greetings. But yeah, What's the difference?
All right. So in the video, we see a mother. Let's say exactly what happened in the video, right? Just to give a bit of context. So, typical mother coming out the house, towel on, right? And more strength to that towel for staying on as well. So she came out, her son was outside, and but from where the video starts, she is slapping her son and she's telling her son something to the effect of him not listening to his older brother, right? And as well as something about him thinking that because he's taller than her, he's getting as tall as her now, maybe he thinks that he could control her. He doesn't need to listen to either, well, I guess maybe her, but the bigger brother by extension, right? And from what I saw, at least a slap was delivered in the video.
Yeah, 2 slaps equal like in the
It's
video.
2? Oh, okay. Right. So I mean, I am generally in the middle where it comes to discipline, right? And I'm saying discipline in this case as opposed to abuse. Because like what we were making reference to before with when I started saying something about put up licks and you were saying no, it wasn't put up licks, but whenever you have to hear instances of put up licks, to me that's abuse. Because if you mean to discipline a child, you would discipline the child right there and then. You will not wait until accumulation of activities have happened to then hit that child or beat that child, right? One of the things that I know with discipline, and my personal stance is that it is not necessarily my first choice with regards to discipline. I think that today's children feel it's a bit more. Let's say when you take away their tablet, take away their devices, right? You ground them, as opposed to administering physical blows. You always hear children say something that licks the school off, because in no time you hit them, all right, their skin has calmed down, the belt marks have healed, and they can go right back to their old ways. Sometimes I think of it that it actually hardens children, hardens in the sense where it makes them in a way, in that they don't necessarily feel the need to listen to anybody. But I suppose I can pass a slap or two. I could see that happening. I could do that. I could do that as a guardian or as a parent. But the actual beating that we used to happen back in the
Boy, get them backhand. Get them the backhand. Some of them out of place. Get them the
and
backhand.
this is the thing. I think this is one of the other problems is, do parents these days even know how to control their children?
That's how you control the rod.
You're referring to child as a rod?
No.
I know. Just harassing. Right? But I don't know. And we always say that this is the effects of slavery, where Massa had to beat us into submission and Massa had to beat us to get us to do things. But it has been happening since in biblical times. But
yes,
I think
I don't agree with that slavery thing.
Where it's the problem is for me is when it's taken to an unnecessary extent.
All right. Just want to remind you guys that it's an interactive program. The number to call is 457-9997, which conveniently is now our WhatsApp number. Good morning to Anne, who says good morning to Ariane, Roleza, and all of the staff of WEFM.
Hi, Anne.
Cheryl corrected us, informed us that Sabre is close to St. Martin. So what is that? Is it just in the Caribbean, or that's one of the British or American islands? I'm not sure.
Listen,
I know it is in the Caribbean,
I would
right?
look it up and I would come back and tell you.
Let me be clear, because I realized from your response that I wasn't clear. I know that it's a Caribbean island. I'm asking,
where exactly?
Is it just a Caribbean island, or is it part of the US or British territories?
All right.
But it says it's Dutch. The smallest Netherlands. Cool.
All right.
Licks for them. Beat them. It ain't always effective, because you have to do both. You have to hit them and you don't have to hit them. Don't take that. But you have to have some form of punishment in place, because a lot of people these days are being raised believing that there aren't consequences for their actions. There are always consequences to your action, and there are a lot of people growing up now that are out of place, have no respect for authority, have no respect for other people.
And in
So-
this case, the bigger brother was left in charge of the younger one, and he was not listening.
All right, we have a caller here. Good morning, caller. You're live.
Yes, good morning. I just turned to the radio station and hearing about discipline of children.
Yes.
I heard about speaking the video, right?
Yes.
And the part where he left, excuse me, where the older one needs to be over the others, and he didn't listen, right? That's all we know about.
Mm-hmm.
But we don't know what he ain't listening about. We know about why. When the older one told him what to do or what, he did not listen. As we know about that. First of all, we have to find out what went down, right? Why the mother had to come out, understand, at the time, and why she did what she did to the child. You understand what I'm saying?
Mhm,
Yes, yes, yes.
We understand.
If we don't, we couldn't be say things where we should not say or do. You understand what I'm saying? The point is this: nothing wrong when you discipline your child.
Yep. Same thing I
It's how
said.
you discipline your child.
Mhm.
Yep.
And the point, nothing wrong. You ain't have no weapon and get tried to slap or to cab. You understand me?
Yeah.
Along seeing teeth him bust out, bleed, or any wounded. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Mhm.
You catch what I'm saying?
We do.
Because
Mhm.
nothing wrong with that. Because the point is this. In my time, right, my mother disciplined me radical, right? You understand?
Mm.
Yes. Yes.
You
Yes.
grew up with the old
And
school
I-
kind of
Kneel on
I glad.
Pangreta. Kneel on
I glad.
Pangreta and them things.
yeah.
No. She never go that way. But I glad how she disciplined us at time. And even notice the children, these children that has been disciplined, some has been abused in a sense, in certain way, right? But we talk about discipline by beating. We stick to that topic, right? You understand what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
And scolding us. They are the better children today. They were more respect, right? To their mother, to the parents. I ain't saying between it as a good one too, but the majority. You understand? And to the committee, to you understand? And even when you disrespect your neighbor, you ain't tell the neighbor morning, and I want to be quick. I want to be long. Tell the neighbor morning and tell this morning. You understand me?
Mm-hmm.
They carry you right there and say, go tell the neighbor man and get to cab. You understand me?
Mhm.
And sometimes they leave the parents, the neighbor, and go not neighbor, have an eye on my children. And no problem. And the neighbor too, discipline your children. Right? That was not no problem. The sister, you know what the children there, from my experience, I have children, 3 girls. You know the reason why the generation today, where they are today, and we want to put the blame on the parents, which some of the parents, mind you, have to blame, right?
Mhm.
But they want to put the blame on parents, or with them bring up to rude or so. I, in a country, Caribbean country, I'm calling it, right? In the process of this, the parents, as usual, is a mixed culture with all different Caribbean. The parents is talk to the children. Sometimes we talk, sometimes we discipline the children, right? And everything is to go good in the home. The children need to respect, they call it the parents, or anybody in the yard. Boy, man, they go beat me here. Let me get up. If they say don't go outside, they go come outside, play me, say me go back inside quick. Come on, they come, they go beat us, yeah, something like that. And the neighbor go tell me parents. You understand what I'm saying? These parents look for each other. So there was unity between But the problem what happened one day, I talk about experience. The problem what happened one day is the school guidance counselor, right, from the authority of government, put a letter in every children's bag that if you beat your children, it's either $500 you have to pay or 3 months in jail.
When was this?
I think it's
That is
the UN Convention of
2000.
the Child. I think it's the UN Convention of the
I
Child.
can buy it in Vincent.
When was this?
That happened in 2000, 2001. It is facts, right?
Mm-hmm.
I was a part of that batch when it just come out. You understand? And week after, maybe somebody can read with the inside the bag. Do you know that child started the rude to the parent? The children started the rude to the parent.
Yeah,
In that
that's gonna
country.
happen. It ain't no consequences.
No, because they know their rights. As a
Yeah,
child,
it
they know their
ain't
rights.
no consequences.
Hey, when the mother speak to the child, because we live door to door for experience. The 7 years child stand up, hit me. When you hit me, I'll go to them and you can't hit me. I started give the mother hell from that time. The other neighbors and them all around the area, the same thing. You understand? And this is where the downfall. This is where the children start to go out and come in when they want, idle on the road. Ain't want to wash up dishes. I talk about experience. Ain't want to do this.
Your daughter's probably
Right.
vexed right now hearing you say these things.
What I said?
I say your daughter's probably vexed
What,
right
and
now
wait,
hearing
hold
this.
on. Why are you saying
No,
daughters,
that was the
children,
people that they go
daughter and
mad.
son?
She said she had three
No,
daughters.
not
Was
my
daughters?
own. But hear my,
Oh.
You guys are saying from experience, eh?
yes. I'm talking about my neighbor. I
Oh,
have
okay.
daughters.
Yeah,
Oh,
she said
hear my
that.
part. Let me get it clear. I want to be quick, start talking fast.
Yeah, sorry.
I want somebody else to come in.
Mm.
The point is this. Here was the trouble with me. My daughter and them go to church. The neighbor children and my daughters go to youth in church. Youth supposed to over 9 o'clock. After the 11, you they reach home. The only where the church is go take about half an hour walk, but they go idle, right? So you go say they go take an hour. You get after 11 they reach. Then the parents come and ask, each parent come, such by you? No, such but no. Then the father for one of the child say, I stay home, we go look, I go look for them. When they go, they meet them in somebody else's home. You understand me? Somebody else home with the youth and them. You catch?
Mm-hmm.
So here's what you do. You know what they did? Just escape and they go for the guidance counselor. Right? And who come in instead of the father? The guidance counselor after going to 12 o'clock coming by our door. And I'm going to be quick and give us warning. Say to us that remember the rules. If you beat the child, $500 or 3 months in jail. So she come by my door now and say, Miss Mayers, if you only beat your daughter, this is the rule. Right in front of them now.
Okay.
I said to her, if you don't want me to beat her, from after today, you mind her. You gonna walk, support her, give her all what she wants. If I can't discipline her,
Mm-hmm.
you gonna do that. Because you know why? I'm not going to make my children overrule me, disrespect me, come in any hour they want.
In your home.
And
Mortgage for.
I don't know where they are. And when they get in trouble, I come in when my don't seem to get in trouble. No way. Take she right now. Take the other children out of the house right now. You take them out now. Because you know, I'll beat her. But go ahead.
All right.
Thank
I
you,
love her
Carla.
to go sleep. I allow her to go sleep. When she wake up, get her breakfast, and I beat her. I put some blows on her. I get a bed and I beat her and say, you ain't going to overrule me. Council and no government ain't going to overrule me. And I said, when you're done beat her, put her on your clothes, my daughter, and go up to the pool and tell them, I beat you, and I'm waiting for them to come lock me up.
All right.
All right,
So,
Carla, thanks.
So therefore, this policy that we have here, I mind in my closing now, I mind, I can't get clarity to people out there. If you I mind if you discipline your children without beating, you could do that. There are many ways you could do that, right? But children are so rude now, disrespectful, even abuse the mother, cursing the mother, parents, and other people, because you know why? They figure they have I would say the government has because the guidance council and so on, and that policies on government side feel where they have the government. So back them up. I want to tell the government back out.
Right.
Just overwatch how we discipline them and give us a chance so that we could get back the respect and the manners. If you're abusing them, you step in. If it's not, you keep out. Because you ain't making no sense. You have the nation like that. Have a good day.
All right. Thank you very much, caller. All right. The caller raised something that was interesting. That for me, I was in conversation with somebody just last week about it in terms of that whole community needed, or the village raising a child. And the person was saying that they no longer look to pull up other people's children.
I ain't touching
And I said, no, but my thing is that I said that I don't care whose child it is. If they're doing something wrong, then, okay, we have another call. Let's finish that thought. Hi, caller. Good morning.
Hey, caller. Good morning.
That is Star FM.
No, sorry. This is WEFM.
All right, sorry.
All right. So
All
the,
right.
the point that I was making is that I would not put my hand on someone else's child, but if I see someone's child who's doing something wrong, I will pull them up, right? And one of the interesting times is when I realized that I pull up somebody's child on 2 occasions. Somebody turned around and told me, "Thank you, Tanti," or "Sorry, Tanti," right? Now, for me, I had to laugh when the person called me Tanti because, we tend to associate the word Tanti with somebody who's a bit older, right? So I didn't know if he meant it out of respect, or the children meant it out of respect, or if they meant it in a way as to say, okay, well, you acting old, you behaving old, so this is the way in which I'm saying thank you to you. But for me, that we no longer seem to feel as though we have a duty or responsibility to other people's children, maybe just our own, and maybe this is where the breakdown has happened. Because yes, it's going to take that mother to get to that extreme of putting her hand on her child. But do teachers still feel the need to pull up somebody's child? Does the neighbor still feel the need to pull up somebody's child when they're doing something wrong? Is it that we're washing our hands of being that sort of role model disciplinarian in other people's children's life? Because we also don't know if when we do so, what the parent may be saying towards us. Maybe the parent might come and, maybe not necessarily physically attack us, but verbally attack us because they're not in agreement with us verbally disciplining their child.
Yeah, I grew up in the whole era of the community thing, and I don't agree with it. I do not want anyone who is not my relative or my parents come in and putting their hands on me or speaking to me in any way that I don't please. I remember when I was in the church once, I was wearing one of those silky shorts, and so the shirt would slip out. And this lady in the church came up behind me and grabbed my pants and pulled up and pushing my shirt in. And I hit her and I said, "Hey, I don't know you like that for you to touch me like that." And she's looking at my mother now for my mother to tell me that I'm being rude. No, you're not supposed to touch me like that.
What did your mother say?
Do not touch my child like that.
Okay.
If you want him to fix his clothes, say it.
Right. So I can agree with not necessarily putting your hand on someone's child. I would have told you, but put your shorts inside of your pants. But let's say if you're in the road and your mother isn't around I'm not talking about the instance of your shirt being out of your pants. But if somebody tells you that what you're doing, let's say you're being too loud in the
Yeah,
road
if
or
somebody
whatever.
says to you, hey,
Mhm.
you're not supposed to be using these words, there's no problem with that.
Mm.
But this community, people tend to take it too far. Well, back then, people used to take it too far. People
Mhm.
used to want to discipline people's children like it's their own children. And then the parent now have to get involved and tell them, hey, don't do that. And then now, we see that it's being removed. I thought I didn't feel like I needed to hit anybody's child. If the principal gave me permission to strap a child, then it would happen. But I'm not, it's not my job as a teacher. And then you saw the video with the teacher at Petersville
Mhm.
who hit the child for talking. I don't agree with that teacher.
I don't know the
Certain
full
things you need to
details of
leave.
that, so I can't necessarily comment on just the video that the parent
Well,
posted.
in the video, the teacher
Mhm.
admit to it, the class admit to it.
Yeah,
They
but
ask, why did you get up?
but
Because she was talking. It right there in the video.
yeah, but suppose the child was being overbearing as well. How many times do you
So
talk
you
to
ain't
a child?
supposed to thump nobody
But
child.
that's the thing.
There's
I
a
don't know the
limit.
full circumstances of that, so
But
I have to
on
hold back
any
my comments.
circumstance, you're not did not supposed to happen. Call the parent. If the parent give you permission, fine.
No, but I think still in the schools that you can beat a child, but I think it has to be done by the principal within the principal's office or something to that extent.
Eh,
Right? So, yeah, but you see, all of this is even with this discussion that we're having, we're seeing that we have a mixed opinion where it comes to in the school system putting our hand on someone else's child, or even in the instance of within the community. What do we do? Do we take the village approach, or is it just a parent is supposed to be the only disciplinarian for that child?
well,
Right? So throwing it out there, and that's our question for you to ponder on. So the time here is now 8:30. We're going to take a break at this time to go and pay some bills.